Hey everybody, welcome to Baffling Cyclops. I'm David.
And I'm Pepper Proxy.
And it's been a while, but we do have some good excuses. Like it was 108 degrees outside. And it was 96 degrees in the living room, so I'm guessing it was probably over 100 in the room where we'd record the podcast.
Yeah, I would say that would be an easy guess.
So we didn't want to roast.
We were roasting enough.
Yes.
And then we had guests too, so we've been able to do some activities. And Seattle kind of opened back up a little bit.
Seattle opened back up, and we actually had some guests to explore it with, which was lovely. My sister Abby and her husband came to visit.
Yeah, that was awesome. It was fun.
Yeah, and we did kind of touristy things.
We did. Well, what would you say the most touristy thing was that we did?
We went to the Pike Place Market.
Yeah.
Which is very touristy.
Yeah.
And
especially because it was like the week, I guess the week off 4th of July, because July 4th was Sunday. So yeah, it was that week.
Yeah. And it was the first time that masks were not really required. Like the first week, the end of June was when they stopped requiring masks. So a lot of Pike Place Market had just opened back up too.
Yeah.
And there were still a lot of empty places there.
Yeah, there were some empty stalls, especially for that time of year.
Yeah.
July is peak tourist season usually. Yeah.
And usually there's like a road that goes through the market, which we always make fun of people for driving down because it's just crazy to think that you're... I mean, the only reason to do it is to say you did it. Because,
and it's brick. It's like in the middle of the market, and it's a brick road down a hill.
And full of pedestrians. And they really only keep the road open so it can deliver stuff to the various restaurants and stalls there, not so that people can just cruise through the market. So it's really funny when people get stuck around traffic and then start honking.
It's weird.
It's very fun too.
And usually that street this time of year is closed, and they have like cherry vendors and local like artisans, but not this year.
Nope, this year it's all empty. But there are empty stores there, so
yeah.
But it was good to go down there, even though downtown was not the most pleasant place to be. It was pretty dirty.
Really dirty.
And a lot of screaming people.
Yeah. I think it's probably going to take another year to bounce back.
Yeah, and I didn't see any police downtown, just building security guards.
Yeah, you're right. I didn't notice any either.
Yeah, because I was looking for police cars or anything, and they just don't exist.
Yeah, I also thought it was interesting and fun that we ate out so much because we had gone almost 2 years without eating out, and we got to go to the Whale Winds over in Fremont, which was fun, and we went to the Dough Zone.
Yeah, the Whale Winds was good. We had pickled vegetables, and Jeremy had what looked like to be an excellent ham sandwich.
Yeah, I would get that again for sure.
And I got the breakfast sandwich.
As did I.
And it was good.
Yeah, it's a cute little place though over there.
Yeah.
Award-winning.
And smoked potatoes, which I'm going to try and replicate at some point.
Yeah, I think we can do that with the little tinfoil and some of those little baby ones from Costco.
I learned an interesting fact.
What?
While we were going out, which is none of the pot shops in Seattle sell merchandise because...
Oh my gosh, we need to investigate this thoroughly.
Because they need a separate business license if they want to sell anything that's unrelated to the marijuana business. So they can sell pipes and pot and anything you use to smoke it under the original license. But if they want to sell just a t-shirt with our logo on it, they need to start an entirely different business.
Yeah.
Which most of them do online only.
Yeah, because they probably just go through like Redbubble or one of those print. But I have to say though, I have a business license. I don't know if their business license for just t-shirts would be different, but it's not hard to get.
But I think they don't want to mix the till. So if they would have to have a separate way to ring people up if they wanted to sell merch. just for the merch. So you can't just buy, a joint and a t-shirt.
Yeah.
It would be one for the joint.
Two transactions.
And then the t-shirt would have an entirely different sales tax and everything else.
I do think they're missing out, though, because I think we could have sold Jer at least like $150 worth of t-shirt. He wanted one, I think, from every single place we went to.
Yeah, because we were driving around and we'd see a cute logo at a pot shop, and he's like, "Oh, let's stop and see that one." And it took a while for someone to finally explain to us, thank you, Oz and Fremont, why they don't have it.
Well, he has a very, very valuable Uncle Ike's tea from when Abby was here a couple years ago.
Right. Well, they had a whole separate shop for that stuff.
Yeah,
then,
and which is a liquor store now.
which is a liquor store, which is really interesting.
You could get wasted. You could get wasted two ways.
two ways at ice. So yeah, and that was fun. We got to go to the Chuck's
Hop shop
down at the end of the street and have a beer.
Or in my case, a rosé Frosé, sorry.
Yeah, you had a frosé.
Yeah.
It was fun though. We had a good time, and we had a.
I liked going to St. Edward's Park.
That's right. We had a fun time at St. Edward's Park, walking up and down those sketchy hills.
Yeah, weren't you surprised too that they converted that? Was it a monastery?
Something like that, yeah.
Into like a hotel bed and breakfast. It looks lovely.
Yeah, it looks fancy.
Yeah, it is fancy. It's a part of a group. Like I can't remember. I think it's a place up in Woodinville, a place down in Portland. But they're fancier, like hotels. So it might be worth like doing a little staycation, going for a hike.
We could go for a late night hike, then have a cocktail and a brunch.
Yeah, it would be fun.
Yeah. So that was fun. And what else happened? Oh, we got a new TV. Our old TV
It has True Black.
It has True Black, which we're very excited about.
Well, I think I'm not as excited about the TV as actually getting rid of DirecTV.
Yeah, DirecTV, which surprisingly the phone call was much shorter than I thought it would be, because the guy who I talked to said, "Do you mind if I ask you why you're dropping DirecTV?" And I said, "Yes, I do mind." And he said, "Okay."
Yeah, it was. It's liberating, isn't it?
It is liberating. Now I just have to wait for them to get their equipment back and clear our account. And then
it will be okay.
Then we'll be purged. Although we do still have the satellite dish, which they don't want back.
I can't understand why.
And we had our little memorial for Art.
I think we talked about that already,
Did we? Oh,
didn't
okay.
we? I think so, but I don't know.
Yeah, which was nice.
Well, would you, do you want to talk a little bit about the A-hole Robin?
I know. The weird thing about the A-hole Robin is I always tease that there's an animal around our house that does or does not like me.
Yeah.
Because I'll be like, there's the squirrel that hates me.
Yeah.
But really, it's just...
It's not true.
It's not
You're
true.
just being paranoid. Maybe you've been to Uncle Ike's too much.
It's not even paranoia. It really is just being funny. Because usually the squirrel is just obsessed with me because I give it peanuts. Mm-hmm. And so every time I walk by, it pops its head out.
It wants to be friends.
Yeah, so if I say to the neighbors across the street, that squirrel hates me, and then it's like charging me and peeking out,
Yeah.
they laugh because they think it's funny. But we actually have a robin in front of our house that dislikes me now.
Well, okay, so I hear what you're saying. I understand why you're saying it, but I think that robin has a little screw loose in its little pea-sized brain. So it might not just be you.
Okay. Well, he doesn't like the crows either.
He also has a very odd-shaped body. Not body shaming the robin at all. It's just way different shape than any other robin I've ever seen.
And he's very disheveled.
He's like the Archie Bunker or Homer Simpson of robins.
Yeah, he's like a weird thing. But he has been staring in the window.
Yeah.
If I'm talking, he'll come up to the window and stare inside, and if I go outside, he'll swoop by my head.
Yeah.
I just
flip you the beak.
He does flip me the beak. I was out clipping those prickers this morning, and clipping the pricker bushes, and man, that robin was all over me
Yeah.
the whole time I was out there.
Yeah. I think the robins may be jealous of the crows
Maybe because we treat the crows so well.
with respect.
With respect. Respect to the Crow Nation. And so that was good. And
What else is going on?
what's going on with you?
Well, I'm sitting here and I think I'm now obsessed with Mother on a Nest.
We went to Goodwill to look for a frame because you found some sketches that Brandon Bird did for us for the painting that we have.
Yeah,
that he did for
lovely.
us.
They're gorgeous. And I haven't framed them yet. And I thought, well, shoot, let's look for a frame at the Goodwill because sometimes you can find really nice frames.
And so you found a frame.
I found a beautiful, I think it's maybe like ash or like, it's like a really light colored wood, but not pine. It's finer than that. I'm not great with my woods, and a beautiful mat. It was done at a studio here in Seattle, and it had an original watercolor. The artist's name is Peggy. I can't remember. I looked her up. Maybe Peggy Miller or something. But it's a watercolor of like a mama penguin with a baby penguin at its feet, and I loved it because it's not my style.
No, I didn't like
at
it.
all. But the reason why I love it is because I don't think it's a mother penguin. I actually think it's a papa penguin. So when they had it framed...
Did he have penguin balls?
I think I saw some furry balls, yes. So when they had it framed, like it's triple matted. 1, 2, 3, triple matted. But they framed it and then they wrote in calligraphy in purple, Mother on Nest. So I'm like, oh, I'll just use the 2 mats and then put our drawing in there. I miscalculated. I didn't measure well, but I became obsessed with the frame because it's a really nice frame. So I thought, well, what am I going to put in there? And so I put a drawing that I did of a crow, but I kept the mat that says Mother on Nest. So it's really, really weird.
It is weird.
And I love it. And I'm staring at it right now. That's why I brought it up.
Yes. I know.
Maybe we can we'll put it in the newsletter.
Okay. I was unsure of why they thought they needed to label it Mother on Nest, too.
That was a bad choice.
Yeah, because to me it would be like if you had a reproduction of the Mona Lisa and above it wrote Mona Lisa or Lady with Weird Smile.
Well, okay, so the other thing that's weird about it is we got it for $10 at the Goodwill, but it had a $300 price tag on it. It's custom framed. The frame, I would say, with the matting probably cost at least like $250 to have done because framing's not cheap.
Framing is not cheap.
But it is very, very odd choice to write that on there. Now we have to post it. But don't make fun of the drawing because that's actually my drawing. It's not the penguin. We took the penguin out.
What'd you do with the penguin?
I flipped it over and then mounted my drawing onto that. It's not even Bristol board. It's like heavy duty paper. Yeah.
So someday someone's going to get your drawing and take it out and be like, I've discovered a lost art. It'll be a TikTok.
Yeah. Look at this lost art of Peggy something.
Lipton?
I loved her. She was beautiful.
So, that's good. And I've been listening to the novelization of Once Upon a Time in Hollywood that Quentin Tarantino did.
What do you think?
I'm enjoying it. It's very, very much more detail about everything that's in the movie. Mm-hmm. And like everyone's basically whole IMDb listing for all the projects that they've worked on. The biggest difference for me, though, is the character of Cliff, the one that Brad Pitt played.
Yeah.
He, in the book, is a murderer.
Oh, like a hitman or just a down and dirty murderer?
He feels justified in it, but he did kill his wife,
Yikes!
which they showed.
Wait, are these spoilers? Do we need to say spoiler alert?
Spoiler, but in the movie they showed him.
A little late.
Yeah, well, I mean that's not really that big a spoiler, but in the movie they showed him and they kind of implied he killed his wife, but they didn't say he did.
Oh.
And because she was nagging him on a boat for a really long extended period of time, and then they showed him firing some kind of like undersea weapon.
Oh, like our harpoon
Kind of thing, yeah.
Oh my gosh, I want to watch that movie again. I remember loving it, but I
It's a great
do
movie.
not remember any of this that you're talking about.
Yeah, it's right before the part where he fights Bruce Lee.
Wait, this is another spoiler. Maybe we should head with a spoiler at the top of the podcast.
Okay,
For a movie that's been out for 2 years.
Yeah, I'm like, that was sort of, but it's because the couple that's running stunts on the Green Hornet
Yeah.
Doesn't like Cliff. They don't like Cliff because
he's a murderer?
Because he killed his wife.
Oh.
And so they make a big deal out of that for good reason. But it's pretty. His character is pretty dark. The Brad Pitt character.
Okay.
And they lightened him up a little bit for the movie.
Yeah.
And one of the other interesting parts about it is Leonardo DiCaprio's character kills like 150 Nazis in one of the movies that he's famous for, and it ends with him shooting flamethrower at a bunch of Nazis in a room, which they also showed.
Yeah.
And then
I don't remember.
But it turns out that Cliff killed like 150 Japanese in a different theater of war, so they use it to show like one of them is the fake version of it and one of them is the real version of it.
What's theater of war?
Japan was a different front line than Europe.
Yeah.
So like the one movie took place in Europe.
Oh, theater. I thought theater of war was a term for like some type of true fighting in a war.
No,
you mean in a movie theater?
No. I mean like a different location.
Yeah. Sorry, I'm just
that's
confused.
Fine. So, but it was one of them is the fake version of the Heartless Killer, who's really like kind of a fake Hollywood guy, and the other one's real killer pretending to be a fake Hollywood guy. So they're the exact opposites of one another, which I thought was really interesting.
Who reads it?
It is, I believe, Jennifer Jason Leigh.
Oh, it's a woman.
Yeah.
That's surprising me.
Yeah, it is.
She's good. She's a really good narrator, and she's a good actor too.
Yeah, she's it's really I'm enjoying it. Yeah, I think Jennifer Jason Leigh.
She's awesome.
Yeah, and she's doing a good job with all the voices and all of that. But it's very interesting to go back through the movie and get a little bit more detail.
Oh, maybe I'll listen to that too.
I don't know if you would like it.
Okay.
Spoiler alert, there's dog fighting.
Oh, yeah, that's not good. Not for me.
But, spoiler alert, one of
Well, you've said it once, so that's enough. You don't have to keep saying it.
But one of the murders is a dog fighter.
Oh, okay. Go Brad Pitt. Go Cliff, go.
Yeah. But Cliff is also fighting dogs.
Is his name Michael Vick?
No, it's I'm joking. But so I've been really enjoying that too. It was also fun to take Ab and Jared to Archie McPhee.
Yeah, it was. Were you surprised by any of the things that they really gravitated towards?
No, it was just fun to show them around and hang out for a little while. It was good.
Yeah, it's nice to have guests for sure.
And they loved Wajimaya.
I know. I think I'll eventually get Ab into the realm of making Dan Dan noodles.
You're pushing for that?
Well, we sent him home with some
black vinegar
and is it
Long
Mao chili crisp.
Yeah.
I think we've started a revolution there in Powell, Ohio.
I know we're trying to get the Midwest into the Asian food.
Well, I'm certain they are.
Yeah.
I just was surprised that oh, and Kewpie mayonnaise too. Abby loves the Kewpie mayonnaise, and the boys do. And she said that she can't find it anywhere in Columbus, which I'm sure there's probably a place. But she said she's had to buy it on Amazon, and it's like $13-14 for a bottle. So she was so happy. She packed that in her suitcase, but she had room in her suitcase. You want to know why?
I know why.
Because she brought me a giant cactus. I call him Baby Boy, but he's really big. And he's a cutting from her giant cactus. And I'm a total brown thumb. She also brought me some elephant plant bulbs. I don't want to jinx it. I don't think they're going to sprout, but fingers crossed. But this cactus, I almost cried.
Because it's a giant hunk of cactus.
It's gorgeous, and I know how to grow cactus.
Yeah, I'm just amazed because it's like the size of the part of my arm above the elbow. It's like this
Your
giant
forearm?
My forearm, yeah.
So I love that.
I think that wraps it up for this week then.
Okay, well maybe we'll talk to you guys sooner than later.
All right, bye.
Bye.
Don't forget to subscribe to this podcast. And to read our show notes, sign up for our newsletter at bafflingcyclops.com.